I just bought a car and I think the fuel pump went out. Because when I try to start it, yeah, my phone is dead. This is not good. I'm like maybe 45 minutes from the house, but we're gonna try to go ahead and get this fixed.
A few moments later.
She almost made it home. Man, need some TLC in the detail, but it's a beast.
This is my 1999 Mustang GT. I impulsively bought this car in the middle of nowhere, Texas to get back into the new edge Mustang platform after recently letting go of my 2004 supercharged 4.6 liter Mustang GT. This car was in really bad shape. Kind of still is, but at least it's running now. Now, the previous owner really didn't care about it. They were more Fox body people, which is cool, but I knew a little bit of elbow grease and some love this car could be putting in some work because it wasn't your typical 2-valve Mustang. Obviously, things like this can't happen overnight. As you guys can tell from the performance, this car is not your stereotypical 200 horsepower 4.6 liter 2-valve Mustang. This actually is a 5.4 liter 2-valve out of an F-150 that does have forged internals. It has rods, pistons, a forged crank, 11:1 compression with a P1SC Procharger and tuned on E85, making around 600 wheel horsepower. Now, after selling my old 4.6 liter 2-valve Mustang, I wanted to go ahead and experience a 600 horsepower new edge to kind of feel what I was missing out. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. But I had a lot of issues that I had to iron out before this car actually hit the streets and started hurting some feelings.
I had it. It wanted to start. Hold on, y'all. Let me... Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes! Woo! Yes, sir!
Now, unfortunately, that victory was short-lived. The car ran for about a cool 5 minutes, literally, and then died. That's the thing about buying cars that are already modified. You have to clean up the mess the previous owner did leave behind, and this car had a lot of questionable things done to it. You're gonna see in this video, I pretty much had to redo a lot of it. But the car was abandoned. They didn't really care for it. It is what it is.
I'm not trying to go too far. This is still a test drive. I think it's I think the issue's still here. I don't know. I don't think it was the module. Unless I think the issue is still here. Yeah, it's still here. I think. Damn it, dude. Yeah, there's something else wrong. It's like bucking. This sounds like this honestly feels like an air-fuel ratio issue. I gotta get this wideband hooked up, but you guys can see like this thing is like, yeah, I don't, shit.
Now, as you guys can see, the car was completely undrivable. If you would take it over 2,000 RPM, it would simply cut out and die. Now, that had a lot to do with the old components on the car. Now, when I mean old components, I mean decade-old components. This car was not kept up to date. It was not well maintained. It was abandoned. When I picked it up, it had leaves all over it. The paint was in horrible shape. It's still not in the best shape, but it looks a lot better than it did when I first took ownership. This car needed a lot of love. So I decided to take the car to Chris Car Dock in Humble, Texas, where they went ahead and addressed a lot of the electrical issues. We were able to go ahead and rewire a new ground wire so the car would actually hold a charge and actually turn on. And after that was done, I took the car to Stupid Fast Tuning in Houston, Texas, where we did get a base tune on the car, and we did change out the fuel filter, which I wish I had a picture of it. Definitely had not been changed in over a decade. Now, that was going to be the first kind of round of maintenance items I did to the car to make sure that it was actually running. After all those were done, I decided to go ahead and drive the car for a month to break in the McLeod RXT clutch that I was told was brand new in the car. So obviously, my planning was to buy this car, you know, do some touches to it and start beating on it. I didn't want the clutch to fail, so I had to go ahead and get that sorted out. But during that process, oh man, I figured out some other issues.
I don't know what happened, but on the way here, like some city truck like malfunctioned and dumped like a bunch of, I don't know what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's all over the front bumper, all over the headlights, and it's probably on the rear bumper now. So that's kind of annoying. Don't really know what happened there, but we're not gonna let that ruin our day. Chopping up this block. Dude, it's all over my car, I can tell. I gotta wash the car when I get back home. What did that truck like drop?
You got any coolant on you?
I do have coolant on me, actually.
I got a bottle on.
Now, just by luck, a couple hundred miles before completing the McLeod RXT break-in miles, the car developed an overheating issue. On my way to a car meet, a city truck dumped some paint on the highway a few cars ahead of me, and everybody got hit, and all that paint essentially destroyed the radiator fans, which I did have to go ahead and get replaced. But since the fact that it was during the same period of me needing to complete the break-in miles and me needing to get service, I decided to do all that at the same time. I got the car on the dyno and we finally got a tune. Now, unfortunately, because the current fuel system on the car was so old and the pump really wasn't up to spec, and honestly, it was probably on its way out, the car was only able to rev up to 5,500 RPM, which this car should be revving above 6,000. The car still made great power, and that definitely did not stop me from hitting the streets. Unfortunately, shortly after the car was up and running, the fuel system that it had currently completely failed. The line started leaking fuel, and overall, it was a hack job. For crying out loud, everything was held on by zip ties. It definitely wasn't up to my standards. Like I said, this was an abandoned car, so I decided to go ahead and replace the entire fuel system with an aeromotive eliminator fuel system, which is good for 850 wheel horsepower on E85, way more than I need on this platform due to the fact that it is so light. Now, after going ahead and getting the fuel system installed, I did get it retuned, but unfortunately, I did have on some Toyo Proxy TQ drag radials on here, so the numbers really aren't representing what the car is performing on the street, and it's definitely over 600 horsepower because it is seriously putting in some work now.
Good morning, neighbors. Woo. We gotta get some gas. There it goes.
And that's the build so far. I think the next steps are gonna be making the car look a lot more presentable. New paint job, upgrade the interior, as well as a new hood, probably carbon fiber. Now, if you guys are interested in staying up to date with the 99 Mustang GT build, or if you guys are fans of S550 Mustangs, specifically GT350s, I got that on the channel as well. So if you guys enjoy, feel free to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications to stay up to date.